Welcome back to another episode of Simple Chat. I'm your host, the CEO and founder of Simple Lending Financial, and today we have a guest with us named Blake. Blake, do you mind introducing yourself to the audience?
Thanks, Janine. I really appreciate it. My name is Blake Selby. I'm in the private money space and looking forward to talking with Janine today.
Love it. So Blake and I connected over Instagram, and I loved it because I speak a lot about like competitive mindsets and collaborative mindsets, and it's nice to know there's people out there that are private lenders as well, just like me, that are willing to collab, there's sometimes people you meet on Instagram, they're like, well, I'm a lender too, like, bye. So what do you think like really helped you, with your mindset, around like collabing and like, because I think it's such a big part of like a relationship business. So do you have any useful tools, maybe books or mentors that you've kind of resonated with that helped you dive into just being someone that's very collaborative?
Yeah, I think you're limited by your own ideas, right? And so you need to get more perspectives. And also, there's a lot of different appetites that people will have in the private money space. So one person might want to pursue one avenue of loans or lending or private deals, and somebody else wants to do something else. So, and then sometimes people run out of money. That's another thing too, is that they're low on funds, or this person has money over here. So it pays to have a network, I think, and just best practices obviously is a great reason too, and just iron sharpens iron. But one of the reasons that I'm not afraid to connect with other lenders is because I end up doing deals with a lot of other lenders, whether I'm bringing something to them that's outside my wheelhouse or vice versa. I think it's good to have, and if something is outside of my wheelhouse, it's great for me to have somebody to send them to, because I don't want to just leave people high and dry. When they call me, I want to give them some kind of value, and whether that's something I can give them or someone in my network, such as yourself, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So do you mind telling us a little bit more about Blake? Like, how did you get started? How did you become a private lender? Just because it's such an awesome avenue. I feel like a lot of people want to be the person, lending the money and making that passive income. So how did you get started in this space?
Yeah, I had the weirdest start. My on ramp was I tried to do so many different things. I, was a recording artist who had millions of streams. I did
Wow.
a song with award-winning rap legend Twista. He and I did a
Oh,
music
I
video
didn't know
together.
this about
Yep.
you. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you ever Google me or Spotify my name, you'll find a channel with thousands of monthly listeners. Albeit the royalty checks aren't huge to this day, but there's one or two songs that still pay me something. So
Love
I
it.
started there. Meanwhile, I was into fitness and doing gym, owning a gym and things like that as well. And about 10 years ago, I went full bore, sold the gym, went full bore into real estate deals, private lending deals. And then I got into the private money partner space probably about 4 years ago. And that's where I was doing more like joint venture private money deals. So kind of a niche within a niche. But yeah, I think the transition really was I was trying everything just to see what could possibly work. And so I got to do a little dabbling in just about everything. So I found my little area that I like so far. And who knows, you might talk to me in 5 years. I might have some new thing. But for the last decade, I've been in the real estate slash private money real estate space. So I think I've settled on something that's not music and not gymming. So
Yeah. So what would you say are the perks of being a private lender? Like what kind of like resonated and called to you that you've navigated to this space?
well, I used to own hundreds of properties, and I was like a super landlord out in the Illinois area, Quad Cities, some on the Iowa side of the Mississippi River. So I was, at one point I controlled about 650 houses, and I didn't own all those.
Wow.
I owned about half of those, but I was doing property management and I was just trying everything. I think that why I like the lending side and for me more specifically, the private money partnership side is I get to do more of what I like doing and less of what I don't like doing, which is I'm not a great, tenants and toilets person, landlord. I do a lot better with how can we structure a deal? Let's get creative. Let's find a way to make a deal work that maybe was otherwise dead. And get something to the finish line. And I like quick turns, so I'm not necessarily like a buy and hold person. I do have a handful of rentals and things, but it's just not something that, I'd never found that I had a competitive edge in landlording. Whereas in the private money space, I probably am a small enough fish that I can give people a speed and lack of red tape that they like.
That's nice.
And I'm just a big enough fish where I can actually get to scale with that. So that's kind of been nice. But if I do 50 deals a year, that's a good year for me, just to do that. So some guys are 20, 30 times my size and just crushing, a deal every other day. And I'm not that size, So it's kind of nice being small, nimble. I've just got a couple employees. We're a small shop. So, yeah.
So what is a deal that Blake likes? Like, so our audience knows, like, if they have a specific deal, what to bring you.
Yeah, so I've tried everything from apartments to commercial to strip malls to single family, even tried mobile home before. And I'll tell you,
Wow.
the thing that I settled on was single family, stick built homes, and once in a while, a large vacant property. And so those are kind of and whether it's new construction or whether it's already built house that needs a renovation or whether it's even a wholesale. I work with some wholesalers that, if they can put a little skin in the game, I'm doing one right now in Gerald, Texas, just closed the other day with a realtor actually. And she's like, hey, Blake, I have some money and, I put up the majority of the money and she believed in the deal. So I said, well, let's go. So I take each deal on a case-by-case basis. I just kind of go with my gut. So I'm the gatekeeper.
I love
And
that. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
What's your guidelines? I go with my gut.
yeah. This is gut feel. Every deal's a little
Yeah.
different. I like using like round numbers. Like we don't do really an interest rate because my the way that I structure the deals, the property sort of owes me, and it's just a kind of a flat amount that I would get once it sells or whatever. And so it's not so much that there's like someone owing me. It's more that the property, the deal itself. This is how much I'm entitled to on the deal profits. So it's a way different thing. I just hadn't done this in the past. I kind of
Yeah.
stumbled into it, and it works pretty well, and it allows me to be a little bit different than just maybe everyone else who's offering a slightly similar product. I can be way off here in left field, and sometimes people want different.
Yeah. So you're really coming in as an equity partner rather than the debt.
Equity versus debt. That's exactly it. And so, most people are doing debt, and I've done debt. I've done private loans, and I still have some mortgages on the books. But it's just I don't see myself as having much of a competitive advantage there. Whereas on the equity side, I have a lot more wiggle.
That's awesome. So do you still say you're in private lending, right? Or what would you say that avenue is called?
I just say private money because it's
Yeah,
easier.
'cause yeah,
Technically, yes, I do still have a portfolio of mortgages, so you could
yeah,
say that I'm a private lender, but we're not doing too much with regular mortgages unless I'm exiting, doing dispo on a property and I need to mortgage it
got
out
it.
to get it sold. I've done that a little bit recently, so it's not that I'm not doing them, but we don't go out seeking the debt side. It's but sometimes what started off as a debt deal turns into an equity deal, or vice versa. Maybe somebody comes to me and they're seeking a debt thing, and I can't do it, so maybe I give them to
Mhm.
you or give them to somebody that is in the debt space. So for me, it
Yeah.
definitely pays to have a network.
So how did you raise any capital or is it pretty much all personal net worth that you're lending out? And like, how does someone go about growing that type of business like you did?
Yeah, I feel like there's an old like adage like if you want to be the best at basketball, you can't necessarily do what Kobe did or what Michael did. Like
Hmm.
you can't follow their exact trajectory because someone could do their exact thing and it still wouldn't work. My trajectory was weird. You know, I had the music, I had the fitness, and
Hmm.
in doing those things, I met some contacts, and I was able to get some. You know, even 10 years ago, I was able to get some 7-figure head starts that
Nice.
most people wouldn't have access to. If I were to start over without those relationships, my sort of gut feel would be to surround yourself with people, let them know you're in the space, let them know what you're trying to do, and try to get a group of people who would kind of be your day one sort of angel investors. Tell them about, hey, I'm trying to raise capital to, be in the private money space, XYZ. It's not going to be easy, but you may be surprised at how many people are interested in doing something like that. They just don't have the wherewithal. And if you can bring the
Hmm.
education and maybe a little skin in the game, they may be able to bring the money.
I love that. Well, this has been awesome and so resourceful. So thank you for joining. And that how do people, connect with you, find you? If they have a JV deal they want to run by you. What's the best way to connect with Blake?
Yeah, BlakeSelby.com. That's SELBY. Or they can hit me up on any of the socials at Blake Selby Funds.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Simple Chat. Hopefully it's been resourceful. If it has, please share and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
Thanks so much.